Hey, so I was asked to answer a question that homebuyers have on a regular basis, and that is, how long does it take to buy a house? And I'm going to start by saying it really kind of depends on the homebuyer themselves. So it depends on the motivation of that buyer. It depends on the timeline for that buyer. So we're talking about from day one to closing, it could take anywhere from 30 to 45 days, or it could take years. So are we house hunting? Are we shopping around? What are we doing really? So what I would say is step one, step two, talk to your lender. Hopefully you got a local lender who knows the area, because you could possibly get some special programs that benefit you. And let's see how much you can afford. Let's see if there is any specific terms that we need to have written out in that purchase agreement. And then step two, make sure, or this could be step one, step two, vice versa, but also make sure in one of those you're talking to a local realtor, not a real estate agent, but a realtor. And if you don't know the difference, Google it. And let's talk about, what you want. What do you and your family, if you have a family, are you single? What's your scenario? What are your wants? What are your needs? And then once we have all this preliminary information, then let's go out and let's start looking for houses. Let's start looking for that property that's going to meet your needs and your wants as much as we possibly can find that. And so once we find that perfect house for you and we decide to write that purchase agreement, then once that buyer and the seller signs off on that purchase agreement, we call that a ratified contract. Then from ratified contract to closing day, we like to say 30 to 45 days. More times than not, it's going to be right at 30 days. Depends on the market, but here in Williamsburg, I would say right about 30 days we can get it done. There's not a whole lot of variance in timeline between the conventional and VA and FHA loans. But also depends on what kind of property you're buying. Are you doing just a regular purchase, or are you doing a foreclosure or a short sale? Foreclosures don't have to necessarily take all that much longer than a regular purchase, but a short sale, they are very unpredictable. They could take a few months, or they could take a few years. They're pretty insane. So hopefully you don't have a very short timeline if you are wanting to purchase a short sale. So I hope that answers your question. I like to say from contract to close, 30 to 45 days, but it all depends on the property that you're purchasing and your motivation. So hope that answers your question.